screen?
Yeah, I got the same Asus that you guys recommended. I did spend like an extra $50 and got the touch screen.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I see you're logged in twice here. So there's no real limit on how many times you guys log in, so you can log in from the laptop in addition to the desktop. I probably should have phrased it that way.
All right. Wait. That didn't work, did it?
I don't see you yet.
No. Try that one again.
So it configured up okay? You got it on your network and
No, I got all kinds of questions and problems.
well, hopefully they're not too bad. Worst case, I'll just take a run down.
Here we go. Spinning, but it hasn't joined yet. Okay, I do see how I'm logged in twice there, so.
You might want to try it. I wonder if you have a firewall blocking it or something, you know, unintentional. It surfs okay? I mean, it must because you got out there and you're loading it and it says it's trying to install.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, it looks like it's surfing okay.
Not to worry.
Okay. Well, I should, though, go to the sys page.
All right. Let me start. Show.
Okay.
I wonder if we should flip this around. Actually, one of you went offline. You had two
Yeah,
sessions on.
Yeah, I took one off. Somehow
Okay.
when I first went to log on, I didn't think it was going, so I did it again.
Okay.
And then I did see what you said, how I had two windows there.
Okay. And I can flip this around. Maybe it's best if I have you drive. We'll see. I'm starting this up in Firefox because if I remember right, there was something strange about Chrome.
Yeah, that's what was said in some email threads, but I didn't have any trouble then.
The problem I had, let's see. You can see my screen okay, Jason?
Yes.
Okay. So I made, under system users, one just called entry.
Okay.
A generic login called entry, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if I log into I think I made the password 1234. That's been my password theme lately. But maybe it's entry. Yeah, entry. I have a touch screen as well, and you can't see this, but I can actually touch this.
Okay.
So this, if we flip it, oh, you don't have your laptop on the session. But
No.
if you go on your laptop, I don't need to necessarily see it. You can just do, this screen's probably tiny for you, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's not too bad?
No, it's huge.
Oh,
Fills my whole screen.
okay. So if you go to this URL on the laptop, here, I'll email this to you. Yeah. And you log in with entry. So I just sent you an email.
Okay.
The thought being that with a laptop or tablet or whatever out on the floor, we're going to use a generic login so that anybody can walk up to it and put in their time.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So it won't have
Okay.
a specific user associated with it. So if I go back to here, now so you see where it says select employee badge? I'm literally going to touch the screen and you know, if you don't have the badge number to scan, you can pick it out of the list.
Right.
Okay. And so you don't have to have the scanner. You know, we're obviously going to use the scanner, but you don't have to have it. So the production code, I always use 301 for my test data, but you know, it could be whatever. And again here, now I have to ask Ben Walker, who's out on vacation this week. He's at a wedding down in Florida. He sent us barcoded reports of the production codes. Did you get that? Did it? I went looking for it and I couldn't find it. He's got a production codes report here, but it's not barcoded. But I know he made a barcoded one.
So was that under production code? No, you said you used 301 for that.
Well, I keep jumping frames on you. I jumped over to the desktop full application to look for the barcoded, but I don't know where he put it, or if he didn't put it on the menus, or I'll have to ask him. Underneath the work order reports, there's a production codes report, which basically just shows you all the production codes, but we need it barcoded. You know, we need and he did the barcoded report. I can't find it on the menu, so I apologize for that. When I click print, I think it's just going to give me
what you see on the screen.
Yeah, I'm trying. Maybe I'll be surprised. I just printed it out. Hold on, I'll grab it off the printer. Yeah, it's not the barcoded report. It's just what I saw on the screen. So we can, you know, again, I can just type one in here. And the work order list, there's only one work order in here right now. Again, this would be a list of all the available work orders that you have.
Well,
I
don't know where we start, but I made another work order, and it was 0001.
Okay.
But it's not in there.
Hold on. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah, here you go.
So why isn't it there?
Because it's in a status of requested, it needs to be set to open or open or started, I think. I'm not quite sure what the difference between open or started is. I'll set it to started.
Okay.
And if I go back and refresh the screen, why isn't it there? Let's look at the other one. This one's open. Okay. So let's go back to this one. Set it to open. Okay, so now if we go back and refresh this.
Okay, yeah, it's there.
Okay, so it's just a matter of getting it into the right status. Okay.
And where did you change the status? What do you go under?
On the work order header, now I'm back in the desktop version. Okay. On the work order header, I set the status to open. And I'm not quite sure if any of these other fields are triggers or not, but you know, I scheduled it for today, and I said it had to be finished by April 30th. Okay. And then I did requested by you.
Where's that work? Mine says record, where yours says work order. I'm looking on my laptop.
Yours? Say that again. Oh, you might have to refresh it.
Yeah, no. Well, it says record instead of work order. I can't change that.
Up here at the top?
Yeah. Not on the, what I'm looking at. Yours, I see it. No, on the next to inventory, up on the menu bar.
Oh,
where it
really?
says work order. To the left. Keep going to the left.
Oh, that's the
Mine says
screen I'm
record.
on. Yours says record. How'd you get the... This field over here is intended to be the screen you're on. So if I go to inventory, item master list, see how that field changes? Inventory assemblies.
Yes. Yep. Now mine says item master list when I go there. Oh, I guess okay. I have to go to work order. Okay. All right, and then status. Right now it says requested, so you change that to open.
Yeah. Are you on the same dev.cisssltd.com? Test_mission?
Yep.
Okay. So you should be seeing the same data I am. When you go into that header for that 0001, you should see all my changes.
And where do I see the work order?
So if you click on that work order,
you want to go under orders?
Yeah.
And work order.
Right. And you should see 2 on the list.
No, wait. Orders.
Maybe we should, oh, I can't see that laptop code.
Right. Nope. Okay, so I see those. I see the 1 and 2 there. And so 1, I have to click on that.
Right.
And change the stat. Okay. It is on.
I already did it.
Okay.
Yeah, I already did it. So you should be, if I make a change, you should see it. We're sharing the same data here.
So what I did was I printed out that work order that I made. Okay, that 0001. All right.
Yeah, it should be, if I just clicked on preview, it should look like this.
No, it didn't look like that. Oh, so that's maybe that's why that didn't work. So leave that up then. So then I went to do a new time entry.
Okay.
And I guess that's, so let me see here. I should print that out. So hold on. Let me go to, so I go to orders, work orders. Click on 1. And then
preview. There's a preview button next to the select button up top there. That'll print out your order.
So I'm going to print that.
Yeah, we have 3 entries on it. So if we go back and add another one, we should have 4. And we should have probably something with today's date on it. These are back in March.
I don't have a printer set up on this yet. I'll have to do it from.
Yeah, do it from your desktop. Yeah, do it from your desktop.
logged in, orders. Okay. Close it here. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, sure. No rush.
Okay. So I have that in front of me. Now, I want to go to enter a new time entry. So where do I start from there?
Well, okay, so there's two ways to do it. So there's essentially two interfaces, Jason. You got the one you're working in now. I think if we're on the same screen, if you click labor sheet.
What menu is it under? I'm still on this work order. I don't know.
Yeah. If we do work orders and then create timesheet entry, do you see that? It's above, in between production codes and efficient codes. So this is the desktop version of how to put an entry in.
And nothing's working for me here. When I click on orders, I don't get anything. I'm still looking at the work order. I'm looking at that work order.
Oh, click the back button so you get back to the out of Adobe.
Okay. Okay.
Now click orders again.
Orders.
And then
Yep.
timesheet entry. And then there's a button up in the top right, create timesheet entry.
Create
Can you get
timesheet entry, okay.
Yeah.
I just lost my connection. The Wi-Fi.
Lost your Wi-Fi connection dropped?
Yeah. Not going so good for us here. It's connecting.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah. You're clicking there.
So I'm using production code 301 again because that's the only number I remember. Work order. I pick, you're going to do something that's more logical than I am. I just randomly picking things here. 18 RP and 24.
So maybe what I should do is I plug my scanner just into my desktop.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, let me do that.
Should work on both of them.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I plug my scanner in. So now, go ahead. So let's do a new time entry.
So unfortunately, I don't think you have any badges to scan.
Well, you're right, and that's okay. We don't have to scan
Yeah.
a badge, right?
No, you don't have to scan anything. Do you have anything that we can scan? I
Well,
feel
yeah,
bad that I didn't.
Out this work order.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
what we do is scan the work order and see if it came up as work order 1 there.
Did it work?
Well,
You have to be in, you have to be in that field. That's a good. I should try that too. Hold on. I'm printing it out. Hold on. I need to run next door and grab a scanner. Hold on. I'm back.
Okay. I got my connection back on my laptop, so I plugged my scanner back in there, and I pulled up that 0001 work order, touched on employee badge Jason and scanned the work order, and nothing happened.
Yeah, hold on just a sec. So I opened up Notepad. Yeah, okay. And I scanned, see, can you see my screen again?
Yep.
So I'm scanning that field. So that looks
Yep.
good to me. But the one thing I will say is you have to be in that field when you scan. So where were we? Orders.
Oh,
Come on.
so you're right. That works. I have to click on the field first.
Right. So when we get this set up over here on this mobile screen, you'll be able to scan your badge, scan the production code, scan the work order. I don't know if if we're going to have another set of barcodes for the product codes or if we're going to type them in.
But what I've been liking is for the product code to be embedded in the work order so that...
Okay. So the work order would only have one product code on it? Or would it have multiple?
Well, if I want that, it would have to only have one, right? We can't get multiples.
Right. It would, yeah. If you we'd be eliminating this field from the screen if there's only one product code on a work order. Then basically, you're saying we could auto select this field,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, you're right. So I would touch on the field for employee badge, scan my badge.
I didn't open it.
Then I would touch on the field for work order and scan the work order, and that would bring in the product code as long as there was only one product code for that work order.
Right.
And production code, I would touch the production code field, and then if I had a master sheet there with all the product codes, I would scan.
You can scan it. And I'll ask Ben. I know he printed out a barcode report of it, but I was just over at his desk and I couldn't find it. That's where I grabbed the scanner. I'll ask him where it is. We have that report printed. I just don't know where it is.
Okay, so that all makes sense now.
And then you put in the quantity you make during that time. I don't know, whatever it is, 400.
Yeah.
And then for some reason the start and end time's not working for me. So if I did 9 and 10, and then click save. Now our efficiency formula is not, our efficiency formula is wrong, but
that's okay. So to get the work order to come from QuickBooks, how do we do that, make that happen? Is that set up yet, or we have to?
No, we didn't set that up yet. I don't think it's that big a deal, but the other thing we can do, well, short term we can just type them in, but we can set up a field. I mean a data passing. An interface for it, but we haven't worked on that.
Okay, and then to get this information into our Excel sheet, that's another whole thing too, right?
But I think that's pretty much here. I think we already did that. So now if I go back and I look at the labor sheet, here's the one I just did. This bottom row is the one I just did now. And I think reports, work orders, timesheet reports. And then I think export, and it just sends it out to Excel. Okay. So it's all, I mean, it might not be the perfect Excel format for you, but there it is.
Hmm.
You know, you just have to tell us what the format you want us.
Well, I'd like it to be able to go directly into our Excel, because the idea is that then Gary won't have to transfer data.
Right. So if I remember right, so this is our format. So you already sent us, if I go back.
Yeah.
Let me get into my mission. You can't see what I'm doing here, but index codes. So if I bring this over, I think this is the email you sent me. Mission Master Rev 2.
Yep.
Boy, this is tiny. Let's see if I can get this bigger. There we go.
There you go. So yeah, there you have the operator, the operation, the item.
What's this stat column?
That's just full-time day, full-time night, temp. That's just
Okay.
that kind of employee they are. And that's where we have all of our goals and everything in there, and that's why we thought it was unnecessary for you to put efficiencies in your system, because if we can get the information into our spreadsheet, then we have it all.
Right. I'm just trying to think how that's going to work. I mean, we can spit out. Let me go back to my sheet.
And that's where, yeah, we did invest a lot of time into that, making that spreadsheet, but if we can get the same result from the information that's saved in your, the same reports from your system, then that's okay.
Yeah, so I guess, I'm trying to think if there's a way I can tile these. There's gotta be. It seems like, the job number, the date, the operator, the operation, and the item.
Yeah, this is before we have a newer version, because your operations, those are written. We now are using those same codes that you have.
Oh, okay. So can you send me a new version of the sheet?
Yeah, sure. Did we, or can we?
Well, I don't know if you did. Can you?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe I have it. Maybe I have it. I don't think so, though.
When was that email sent to you?
This one was sent on January 19th.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'll make sure that we send that to you. And then, yeah, that has all the operation code numbers on it.
So I think if we spit out, we're not going to, I don't know, how much of this sheet do we have? Lost hours. Is this like a summary? Desiree. Yeah, so this is like a summary, right?
Well, I don't see what you're looking at now.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, there. Now I do.
So like
we-
on the 13th, yeah, go ahead.
I can pick either a day or an operation or an operator or a job number, which again, you don't have job numbers there. Now, since then, every order that we make has our own internal work order number. So I can filter all ways. I can say, how did Justine do for the month? And I can click on Justine and the time frame of the last month and see how she did. And I can say, well, how did she do when she was printing last month? Or how did we do on this one job? And I can see everyone who put time into that job and see what all their efficiencies were and what operations they did. So to get all that information that they're recording, we were hoping that the scanner would make it easier and more accurate for the operators, and then remove the whole idea that Gary has to input all that data that the operators are writing down to our sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we're close here. It's just this.
You can't work on this. I'll have Gary email over the newest version of this spreadsheet, and then you'll be able to see what we have now. It has the operation codes, it has work order numbers, and then that's where when we generate the work order in QuickBooks, we want all that information to be able to translate over to Assist, that we can just put that work order information there, print out that work order, and now when they scan it, we'll see if we can limit the work order to one product item per work order, and then they just scan that, and our system will have all the efficiencies. Now, we can put the efficiencies, it's good to have the efficiencies in your system also, because then we talked about when the operator starts working on something at 7 a.m. and at 9 a.m. they go to break, so they log out. We'd like them to have some instant feedback to tell them, what is efficiency for the last 2 hours, and if it was good, we can give them a green thumbs up. It says, good job. Or if it's not, it can be, a sad face that says, try harder next time, or something like that, so that they know. So it's not the end of the day, and now we find out they were not efficient all day.
Yeah, I'm starting to see.
Right behind here. What email do I have him send that to?
Support. Use support. Support at CISSLTD.com.
Send that, Gary.
I see how it's working more now. You guys have time blocks kind of in columns, and we would have them more in rows. Gary's got them summarized here. What does run bud hours mean?
That's the budgeted hours.
Oh, budgeted. Okay. Okay.
So he's going to send you our newest sheet, and actually that's going to have updated data from as recent as maybe Friday, maybe not till Thursday. We probably didn't get all of Fridays in yet, but it'll be probably updated up to Thursday.
So this goal is for 8 hours, right?
Correct, yep.
So if they work 2 hours, we divide this by 4
right.
to come up with 500 to give them some sort of immediate feedback how they did in 2 hours.
Right. But also because, not every job is a full day work. So the job may have only been for 200 pieces. So
right.
you can't. requires 200 to be done.
So this column is whether the employee is full-time or temp. These codes.
FD and FM.
Say that again, Jason?
Yeah, TP is. FD is full-time day or full-time night for FM.
Okay.
So Gary sent that off. Did it go through yet?
Hold on. Not yet.
It left here.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, now you see we have job numbers and under operation codes, and then we have items. Those are the same item codes that we're using.
Right.
And you can see that there's downtime codes.
Right. It's just, yeah, so each one of these codes that they're using is going to have an individual
Entry.
time to it. Yeah, individual entry to it. This is summarized more. You know, Gary's done a lot of work to get this summarized per, I guess we could spit this out. Setup actual hours, setup budgeted hours.
And then, Gary, I don't know if you want to explain any of this. Yeah.
You work off of earned hours. Earned hours are, if they were perfect on the standard, they would earn 8 hours. The standard's based on an 8-hour day. If they were supposed to do, example, 2,400 pieces, and they did 2,400 pieces, they earned 8 hours. If they did 2,200, they earned somewhat less. If they did 2,600, they earned more. And the reason for earned hours is because when you look at something, you could be doing very good at something that doesn't cost as much as something that costs a lot. You could be doing bad at. So earned hours balances it out, kind of based on a per cost of a direct labor employee. The setup hours on there, the one called budgeted, are what we actually get paid for. And the other column is the actual hours that it took them to set up the machine. There's only 2 reasons that we get paid, and that's to produce a bottle and when we set up the machine. We bill for that. So I have them kind of as a separate item. You go all the way to the right, and we look at the efficiencies. The efficiencies are based, and the reason for it was I wanted to see how well do they print if you take out all the downtime. So the column that says run actual hours are actual hours that they spent printing. So we can actually see how efficient they are if they just print. And the reason for that is we can kind of decide, should we find a floor person, or should we try to keep the operator at the machine longer? If they're printing very efficiently, then we've got to find out why the downtime and what's costing us all the lost work. The column beside of that includes all of the downtime. So we can make a comparison. What is their day like with all the wasted time, and what is their day like with just printing?
So when you have the downtime, you have codes on that top.
Right. That amounts to, it's like he said, the data nitro, the entry night is what Jim talked to you about. Right. So what I did was I broke it down to lost hours. Lost hours being breaks, hours that we pay for that they have break, a lunch, Jason pays for lunches. Downtime is a string of codes. If we were to decide the one that's showing right at the top there is 2.25 hours, 106, 111, 124. I could actually go back to that production sheet for Aaron and tell you how long was spent on each one of those items. And that
Yeah, right. Okay, hold on, Gary. Let me jump back to, so we have on here production codes, and if I edit it, we need to add if it's a downtime or if it's a, you know what I mean? We need to add whether it's a lost time code, a downtime code.
Well, the number indicates that anything in the 300s is a productive code number. Anything in the 100s is a downtime code number, and anything in the 200s. We have that already.
Okay. Yeah, but it sounds like you're asking us to build that into our Excel export. Or I guess, or maybe if we go back to our Excel output, see, we have these production codes here.
So yeah, if anything was a 200, or I mean anything in the 100s, we would want that entry put into our downtime column.
Right.
Anything in the 300s put in our production operation column. And then, like Gary said, like we're looking at just the production time for their efficiency to see that, you know, well, they ran at 100% efficiency, but we still didn't make money on this job, so that means we need to raise our price on that. Or,
right.
You know, whatever it may be.
Or you need to get more efficient, right?
Right. So what we really look at is, and what we have found up to this point is when operators are running, they have no trouble meeting our efficiency standard, 100% efficiency or 100% efficiency. But what we find is they're only operating for 4 to 5 hours out of the day. So what can we do to get them to be optimal more? And really what this really helps us do, it helps us validate our pricing, and it helps us see where we're good and where we're bad as far as production on the floor and what we need to do. So, Gary, for example, well, they're down, and I see the downtime code for whatever. Say it's 105, and that means they were handling the product when really the operator should have only been printing. But here they were loading their belt. And if I had a floor person to load their belt for them, now the operator would be printing more rather than being down because they're loading their belt. Right?
Right. Okay.
And that's what I thought. You're not getting all this information with your, you know, with your system there. And maybe we could pull all these reports from yours, but we already have it all here on our sheet. We just have to make the information that we're recording get input into our machine, into our format.
Yeah, we're capturing, well, we're basically just doing a data dump here of what, you know, so it's just a matter of tweaking, you know, our sheet to match your sheet. Some of the stuff you don't care about, like gap, but it's more of a time card thing. When you're looking at, you know, working your 8-hour day, the reason we showed the gap was so that people were aware, you know, that they didn't have all of their time filled in for the day.
That definitely makes sense. But, I mean, there's an incredible amount of formulas in that Excel sheet that we have.
Oh, absolutely. It's just, I think you can use what we're putting out here to fill that in.
Yeah, but we fill it in from the paper that people are writing down. So
No. I mean, I think you have all the data here that you need. Because you've got the production code, and you got the work order number, and you got the product and the quantity. and the amount of time.
Yep.
I think it's all here. It's just a matter of rearranging and, like you said, what we haven't done is summarized per employee. Like we would have 4 entries here rather than 1. I mean, we could look at,
Yeah, and that would be fine, because when we go and we can filter, you see all those little drop-down tabs up at the top there. That's where we can filter.
If we were to look at Aaron for the
Give me an example. You go under operator, right?
Yeah.
Go into drop-down tab under operator.
If we want to look at,
oh, I got to enable editing. Sorry.
Yeah, enable editing.
we want to select all. If we picked Aaron, for example, we can look at Aaron the month of April. If you scroll up there, you're going to see.
So you see we have every piece he printed, we have all the time he spent, we have his efficiency, his earned hours, there's all those formulas are all in there.
So if you had to enter, for example, if 111 loading the belt, I don't know what the numbers are, 111 loading the belt, if you had to put it separate entries, it wouldn't be a problem, because if we look at Aaron for the 8th, everything for Aaron would come up for that day. And it just do a sum at the top. Yeah.
So, we could go into job, pick one job number thing, and that would show all the operators, all the time that was spent on that job, and again, sum it all up at the top.
Yeah, it's just how do we feed this sheet? We have the data. It's just how do we feed the sheet?
Right. So yeah, that's the question. That's the challenge, I think, because that's what saves Gary. I mean, how long do you spend a day on? We have 25 employees. We probably have only 14 that are production employees that are filling this stuff in and actually working on jobs. But he must spend an hour a day.
I spend an hour on this. Probably.
Yeah, he's spending more than that.
Yeah. So I need to morning that. Hour on.
So we just need to figure out how to get our data into your spreadsheet, or create your spreadsheet for you.
Right. To be able to get all that information, pull it from your data. And we thought that seemed like it might be an option.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, we have all the data. It's just summarizing it the way you want to summarize it.
Of getting all these formulas in here and working.
How do you get these 2 rows on the top? Where do you come up with this stuff?
That's the sum of what you're looking at. If you look at all the hours that Aaron put it in, like I said, if you scroll down, there's a lot hidden under that title bar. You see you're at time. You'll see more of Aaron.
You took off Aaron as the operator.
That's a summary at the top, and it's just a formula that adds column.
So you're saying, yeah, click on that, Ben. So where that red bar is, you're saying there's information, because it says line 123 and line 136. So drag that red bar down.
Take your mouse.
Okay. Yeah, I needed to scroll.
There you go.
Now that blue bar at the top is just a total of all those.
Yeah.
A total of all.
Yeah. Rather than showing the totals at the bottom, you're showing them at the top. Okay.
Right.
it's easier at the top because they keep entering at the bottom, so you would never know where to end it unless I just passed it on. At the top, it's easier to show it.
So again, that's only him on, well, that's on job 151. We could look at job 151 and see all the other people who also. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I guess that's. Why don't you try that thing? Go under the job drop down.
I'll just pick job 151, diesel install.
Yeah.
There's only one job in here, I guess. Or for Aaron, there's only one job. Let me get rid of this.
Going right. You're showing Aaron for 151,
Okay.
so you got to select all the employees. Then go to the job.
There you go. All right, so there's everyone who worked on 151. You can see it was a total of 70,500 pieces.
Well, we handled it 70,000 because there's a number of operations in here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to look at what each operation handled, you have to pick the operation, same. But if you look over the total downtime was 15 hours. The total lost time was 14 hours. The total setup time was none.
Total
5 hours.
Set up 5, yep, and budgeted 4.5.
And budgeted 4.5, and then the total run the actual run hours are 119. Again, that's just the vital action steps. The column aside of it is all the hours, 147. All the hours, including downtimes and lost time. The only thing I don't include in that column in the total hours is the setup time, because we're being paid for the total hours that we run it, and the total setup hours, well, we're being paid for some setup hours. Yeah.
So where do you keep track, Gary, of these setup hours and budget hours?
Where do I keep track?
Is it on the work order? I'm sorry?
Well, I just know, okay, so there's no index for setup hours. Everything else has an index to look at, the standards. I just know if we start a job, we get paid to set up the machine and put a screen in it. And if we have to change colors, if it's 2-pass operation or 2 sizes, we get paid to change the screen for a half hour. So the column that's budgeted hours, I fill those numbers in.
So we know we budget 1 hour for a machine setup, and we budget 1/2 hour for putting a screen in. And so every time we change a screen to a new design, but it's the same item, we no longer get a machine set up, but we get a half an hour of budgeted time to screen in. So if you look at the item list there, the 1RG, that's the 1-ounce round glass. With also 2RG, that's a 2-ounce round glass. So for that, when we change to 2RG, we get another machine setup of an hour and another screen setup of a half an hour. There's a 4RG and an 8RG. Get a total of 4 budgeted hours for 4 machine setups, and every time we change a screen, we get a half an hour. And that's what really helps us identify, where our lost time is, where we need to do better. And we go, okay, why do we have all this downtime? Machine setups are taking an hour and a half when they should be taking an hour. Changing the screens taking an hour when it should be taking a half an hour. But when they're running efficiently. How can we get them running better, running more? It really gives us so much critical information that really helps us, just run better here, figure out what we need to do better, and helps us, like I said, figure out our pricing.
Yeah, right. So all right, work with me here. Just listen to, I'm thinking out loud. So I see 305 here, which is a production code.
Yeah, that's printing. Printing online is that production code, right?
And then this is how many he made.
No, that's printing with lining the seam.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
So this 3/4 of an hour is on this one lost time code, right? So he would have a time
Correct.
card entry for 3/4 of an hour on 201.
Yes.
So these downtime codes, he's got 4 of them, but they add up to an hour.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Good morning.
So this run actual hours is how much time he spent that day doing 305 to make
Correct.
2520.
Correct.
And then if you add 3/4, 1, and 5 3/4, you get 7.5.
Correct.
And then these
And then
two columns are just
So if
something
I
that
add
you.
that, took him to set up, which was probably a screen. If I add that to the 7.5, it totals out at 8. So it balances an 8-hour day. It's just that I have the actual printing time and the setup time separate.
So, but could we not make this setup? Is that a 200 code or a 100? Could you not make this a
No.
code so you don't have to do this?
No, the setup is a production code, not a downtime code.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
when we invoice the customer, we charge them for a machine setup, and we charge $50, depending on the customer. A retail customer, we charge $50 for a machine setup, and we charge them maybe $10 to swap out the screen, and we might charge them 25 cents a piece to print the piece. So those are the 3 things that we bill the customer for. So that's all we can. Those are all the production codes, things that we get paid for.
yeah, but I mean, is this half an hour
There
captured
is a number.
in? There is?
There is a number. Yeah, it's an action step of either 318 or 319. 318, I think, screen up. 319 is setting the machine up. But I have them separated out because it gets pretty lengthy and a lot of data entry just to, I put the setups in when I recognize it on the paper. I don't actually have a number. I actually should send you a copy of all
Here, he's got it.
codes.
So
This
you've
is
got
the
it on
code.
there.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the code.
Anything in 100s is downtime. Anything in 200s is what we call lost time, because those are things that they really shouldn't be doing. They're things that can't be accounted to a specific job. They could be on break, or, again, if, say they made a screen and it's a bad screen. They put it in the press, and here they found out there's a clog in the screen. So now we have to burn that screen again. And to me, it was already burned once for the job. We already get paid for it the first time. Now we have to do it again, and we're not being paid for it. So to me, lost time.
It just seems to me that in order to automate this sheet, we need 318 and 319 to be in here.
But you don't have that. So we have an updated sheet.
You can put it in. You can add the column. You need another lookup index so it can go find it.
No, but in his, he didn't have 318 and 319.
Oh,
it stopped at 317.
You should have it.
You couldn't scroll down anymore there?
No, that's the table, I think. Yeah, that's the whole table that we got. I mean, we can add them really quick. You just go add new.
I think we might have already. So let us resend you that then too. We probably, because this again, it was new to us. So as we come up with new codes, we're putting new entries in. So obviously we have to have the update change.
Yeah, Yeah, you can just click add new on the list, We put in
Yeah.
318, whatever. But
Yeah.
there's logic behind those two that separates out the data here. And I guess on these 318 and 319, we need another, we have force zero quantity, but we need another field for like budgeted hours. Half hour, 1 hour.
So yeah, Ben, I'm
Right.
looking at, I'll send you, we have a new updated sheet. I have 318, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I have all those in 300s. So you don't have any of those on your sheet, but since we started doing this, we've added more code.
Right. But do you see what I'm saying
Jason.
on this table? We need to add a budgeted amount for that production code. You know what I mean?
Right. And Jason, is that always the same? Is the setup always 318, let's say, whatever that is? Is that setup, is that always a half hour?
Where'd you come from?
But that's not hard to do. It's a second lookup index, and we weren't able to accomplish it. It gets pretty difficult when you start putting more than one index in to look to. But you can add it. It's simple.
Yeah, we can have as many as you want. I mean, or, as many as we need to generate this sheet.
You just need to make that column a different index.
But, so 301 would be a 1. Well, no, these are different. Or no, I guess it's based on the item ID that,
It's the number series. Anything 300 is a production operation. Anything 100 is a downtime operation.
yeah. But where do you get this setup? This setup number goes against,
And like Gary
The
said,
number's just entered by my knowledge.
you
Okay,
can
we
put
don't.
a budget number there.
Yeah, you
In
can
the,
put
in
an
the index. We
index.
could do another index.
It's just it starts to get lengthy and it starts to bog the system down. But you can add 5 indexes if you want to look at downtime, look at codes, because they're numbers. They're separate numbers. So you
Yeah, but,
look anywhere
okay.
you-
but this setup, actual hours, half hour, is off of which code? 201?
the half of
That's where I'm getting a little bit confused.
code 39.
Oh, we don't have that.
Correct. That's what you'd have to create an index. Those numbers are just entered by my knowledge, taking a number off of a production sheet. That's all.
So we need to like enter another column here.
Well, you need
No.
to put another index in to look what 319 is.
You know, if you look down at the bottom there, you see it says new index all the way at the bottom page with you have those green, yep, that new index. That's where our standards come from for the different codes. So all we have to do is we can add on to this, right? Or we have to make a new index.
No, you could add on to
We
that.
can add on to this.
That column now, so it's also.
You can see what we're doing across the top of the page with all the codes.
Oh, right.
So there you see, there's our 318 and 319.
I don't see them, Jason. Where are they? What quadrant of the
Right.
sheet?
Right now, they're like, see up top, this orange row across the top, Al?
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you.
So those are, because we budget 1 hour to set up a press, that's where you get the 8. You would get 8 of them in an 8-hour day. We could do a half hour for a screen setup, so you get 16 in a full day.
Okay, so going back, I mean, it seems like we fundamentally missed a field in our codes. You guys are calling it index. So it seems to me, whoops, hold on. So it seems to me in here in this table, we need to have an index for each production code. But the problem is it's an index for each production code per item.
That's right. That's right. For some items, it's a duplicate number, but yeah, for others, it's not. So that's an extensive list too to create.
You're doing something to it, and you're doing something to a certain model. So you've got to have two things to look at. What bottle did I do this job to?
And some of those standards, we're just not guessing, but kind of estimating, guessing. So they may need some tweaking, and that's where just through, experience, what we see. Well, this says standard of 2,400, but we find we really are only doing about 2,000 a day, so we need to lower that standard. If we can't, if we feel like we're operating as fast as we can at 100% efficiency.
Oh, this is where we have it. So I take it back. We do have an efficiency code table. That's the table we really want. So this would have 319 in here, and
Right.
for the item ID, sorry for that pop-up, we'd have however many units. Okay. So we already have it. We just need to make the end.
Yeah, so you didn't have our updated index that we've been continually changing.
Right, and hopefully now, you guys can start maintaining it.
Yes.
As you add them, you just have them in both places. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so we just need to add more production codes, and then efficiency codes go with the production codes. Because we basically have this grid. If we look at 307 for I don't know what, tote flip.
1 liter flip for we'll do the 2 there. Do the 502 item. Do 306 502 pack. Oh no, wait. We should do 301. Print online for 2 liter flip top. 301 and 502.
301 502. Okay.
We have 301.
This is bombing out.
Oh, you have 501, so that's okay. So it's the same as
501 and 301. We have it 600. 501 and 301. Yeah, we have it 600.
Yep.
So, okay. Yeah, so we have all this now. We just need to, you guys are a step ahead of us as usual. Or in this case, I forget where we ended off. "12 steps ahead of us." It looks like you guys added some columns that you're not quite using yet. Okay.
Yeah, look at our codes there. I don't know. Yeah, we don't have. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, the ones with missing fields, I assume you can't do. They basically, or they haven't been done yet.
Right.
So. Okay. Okay. So we just need to update Inventory Pro with your data. And if I come back here, this is the wrong one. That other one. Oh, it was April time we were looking at. Yeah. Okay. So I don't need to add this column. Well, these would be setup codes, right? You have the setup actual hours, but you're not showing the setup code here anywhere, right?
Right. Yep.
So in theory, in my rationalized world, I need this to be a setup code.
You also need that to go look in an index somewhere to come out with a standard.
Right.
It's always.
Well, but you have them in that table now, don't you?
Yeah, it says 8 per day.
Right. Right. So you have them. We just need to add them to Inventory Pro. Oops. Where was I? Now the setup budgeted. So far, I think I'm good all the way over to here. We'll have to do something about this full-time nights, full-time days,
Well, that's
or whatever.
Day shift, night shift, or temps to proms, or if you want to look at comparison, any reason, don't get out.
Yeah. We can, what we can do is we can use a field in Inventory Pro under the employee record.
Can't that be employee badge code when they scan in? It just has their status.
Yeah, temp, full-time day or full-time night.
Yeah, we can, maybe we even use department. You can just have FD.
Gary, how do you use that data in sorting and processing and analyzing? The full-time night, and temp and
Or a night.
Yeah, does anyone else there
I would think it would just help you see whether the night is more efficient than the day, right? Or vice versa.
So how would you select those individuals? That's what
That's what I'm wondering, is that column, yeah, if you go in and would select FN, it would dump out everything by the full-time night people, right? Is that correct?
Wait, what was that, Al?
Yeah.
It says if you sort by, if you would do this column, I'm just curious what the importance of it is. So I guess if Gary wanted to know how the full-time night, the FN folks did last evening, you could go in and grab the data sorted on that code.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. But otherwise, we're normally going by badge code, which is what we're interested in as individuals, and by job.
Yeah.
So we have the pricing. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
when Gary comes and he goes, wonder how night shift did on Friday night. So what does he have to do? He has to go down to the floor, select everyone's sheets, and kind of glance through and see, I see Justine did 2,300 pieces. I see, Aaron did 1,400 pieces on whatever he was working on. But Gary doesn't know what the efficiency is offhand until he puts that information in the computer. He should be able to come in Monday morning, pull this up. Friday night, they do. It's all right there.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Then just one other thing. You're clear on how this information is tying over from a cost standpoint, the production run hours, the 301 codes, and so forth, really have to do with our piece price, the setup hours, as Jason or Gary mentioned, is a fixed charge that we charge the customer every time that job runs or for each of the setups on that job. And then downtime is just that lost time that we want to track to capture overall efficiency. Is that a fair way to describe it?
Yeah, these are, the way I'm seeing it, these, column E is all 300 codes, column M is all 200 codes, column O is all 100 codes.
Got it.
And I'd actually almost like to see column B be 400 codes, but they've continued with the 300 series.
So the 400 is actually, all the 300s are only related to bottle printing operations. And as you know, maybe, that we do T-shirt printing also. All the T-shirt production codes are 400 codes. But yeah, we can make those setup codes another series of numbers, but basically they're still related to the operation codes. They're just not printing. They're strictly setup. Because the operations in 300s in column E, those aren't all printing operations either. There are all kinds of operations for bottle printing. Just like setup is an operation for bottle printing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how we sort them out, Jason, Right now, got all 300s in E, 200s in,
So yeah, they would be either 700 is what we would make. That's easy.
You're going to do different line entries for every scan.
Guys, hey, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to excuse myself. I'll figure out how to get the recording then afterward and catch the rest of it. So I got to go. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
I think what you're saying, what we're going to do, Ben, is all 300 operations, you're going to program it so they get put in column E, right?
Yeah,
And
basically,
all
right.
put in column M. So we just need to come up with a separate series of numbers that are going to go in column P for setups.
But he can put the of if they're doing a setup 319, it would be 319 on bottle AG. It'd just be another entry. I was getting tied up with too many entries, so I just made 2 columns to have setup times because I knew what those times were.
So you're saying you could get rid of column
P
and
do an action step over here of setting up the machine. For example, Aaron could put job number 151. He printed 301, and it was 8-ounce round glass. But he could also put another line entry of Aaron when he scans. He could scan another barcode that would say he did a 319, which would be
Right, he would.
On an
Right.
8-ounce round bottle. You could make as many line entries as you want to.
Yeah. Right now, yeah, exactly, Gary. Right now, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and technically 7
right.
for Aaron on the first. That's what I see his time card having is 7 entries.
Yep, you're probably right.
And you know what I would do, the way our system is, and Gary is saying this, we'd have 7 entries coming down here. There'd be 7 of them here, 1 for each. You've got them summarized over here, so you've got 4 4 15-minute ones adding up to 1 downtime. But we would show you that 124 you spent 30 minutes on, he spent 10 minutes on these other 3.
That's good.
Perfect. Yeah, it's not a problem. You can make all the entries you want.
Well, yeah, it's just going to be a lot of lines.
The weekend.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter to us how many lines it is.
Good.
It was already lines. Gary already summed it up to that. So that would just be less than to do. It doesn't matter how many lines it is. Because right now, like you said, it's 4 different entries, and maybe one of them was 30 minutes.
Right. It's skewed. You could be skewing your time here. give them all 15 or something, but it's 30, 10, 10, and 10. Right.
And then if we see something that might look fishy, then we have to go back and pull up April 1st and look. Now we have to go back and individually look and say, well, you know, which one was the most time there? Was it 124? Was it 119? So here it would be all here on the computer. Go back and look. We could, again, still say downtime 124. You know what?
So if I go back here, you know, we've got employee, and then we've got your code and the work order. The code and the work order, A and E, and the employee, and we've got the date, start and stop times. So we calculate the, you know, the amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, so this is going to consolidate into, or we can spread it out, I guess, like this if you want.
Yeah, no, that would be fine to get rid of columns P, Q, and R, and it would just all get put under E.
Those would be production ones.
P.
So these are 300, these are 200, and these are 100. You know, and if you added 400s, I guess we'd put in a row, or 500s or 600, you know, or whatever you want to make them.
We would get rid of column P, just include it in E. We would leave the 300s all in column E.
Right.
You got to remember, if I did all those entries and I had to sit and calculate the paper, we have 12 employees times 7, just the basic, you're looking at an average. Right now, you said 7 entries for the one employee. 7 times 12 will give you how many? And I'd have to do all those mathematical calculations on a paper, where your scanner is going to scan 707 and it's going to scan 708, and it's going to automatically put it in and populate it. So
right.
I had to shortcut it a little bit. So if you want to regroom this in any manner you want, go ahead. I don't care. It's just a whole lot easier with a scanner. They click, you know it took, because I could even tell you I averaged some of those. Some of those only took 5 minutes. I only go by quarter hours because it could take me a whole long time. So I'm trying to shorten it up and make it faster.
Yeah.
With your scanner, you don't have.
So it's up to you guys a little bit, you know, whether you make 3, you know, those codes, you know, in the 500, 600 series, or, you know, if you want to make it's up to you guys.
We'll get rid of column P.
Just get rid of it.
And then that does mean you would be getting rid of your budgeted hours, because that'll be built in. That'll be down in the index.
That'll be the standard.
Yeah, that'll be the standard.
Yeah, you'll have the actual, and the standard will be the efficiency code.
Exactly.
I'm actually starting to get this.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it. There's a lot there. It took us a long time to get this all to work.
This is a fancy sheet.
But it just gives us everything that we need.
The thing that I guess I'm deriving from this is you have each employee's day summarized on one line. You know, and currently the way ours is exporting, every time they make an entry, it comes down this way. There's no summary to it.
If Aaron worked on more than one job during that day, that would be a separate line item. It wouldn't all be one.
Okay. Yeah, it's by job number over here. Okay.
And there are days when one operator might work on 3 different jobs.
Okay. All right. So again, I come back. I think we have, we have the employee, what they did, on what work order, on what product, how much, for how long. I think we have all the data.
You're right. Yeah, you do. Gary agrees.
Yeah, it looks different, but it's here. And the reason we're showing the gap is so that the employee can look at their day and see if they need to fill something in that they missed.
Oh, and I think that's really good too.
So if we go back to,
It doesn't let intentionally or unintentionally.
right. So, I mean, if we had made a bunch of entries for Jason here, I don't know how I got that tab in front, all those spaces. Or I guess I could go make another couple entries, but the employee can look at their day and they should have no gaps.
Yep.
I think we're actually getting close, guys.
Good. Now that sounds good. Now, separately from all this, easy part.
You're killing me.
No, there are a couple that we do inventory their products, and I'd like to actually keep some inventory.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, that you can do.
A live inventory, because they ask us for weekly inventories, and if we can, every time we receive product from them, scan it into the inventory for the different products, and then I would either give them access to just their inventory, or if they call, it's easy for me, like one customer every Friday, actually both customers, every Friday, they want an inventory. I just pull it up, save it, send it off, and say, here's what you have of everything that we have here. That, again, would save us hours of having to keep track of all this inventory and to go and take physical counts.
How do you, we have these item IDs in here now, which are, I assume, generic production item IDs. They're not specific to a customer, right?
Correct. And again, because we don't inventory anything, those are on three categories: size of the bottle, shape of the bottle, and the substrate of the bottle.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, let me show you. Tell me somebody that you store stuff for. TJ Maxx or?
And a glass.
Say that again?
Call them SQ.
You keep breaking up on me. SQ?
SQ, Susquehanna glass. There you go. SQ glass.
Okay.
So one of their items is a stemless wine glass. And we actually have that on our items. It's a 521 because it's a 21-ounce stemless wine glass.
Okay, well, don't get too far ahead of me yet. Okay, so I just created a warehouse for Susquehanna Glass. It's a virtual warehouse.
Yep.
Okay. So if we go back to the item master list and we set ourselves, what happened here? Is it build to, is it ship to, is it warehouse? Oh, I think I know what the problem is. System users. I don't think I should have to do that, but. So now if I go to the Susquehanna Glass and I create a new item ID,
Yep.
Go ahead, give me one. Make something up.
Well, we probably don't want to use the same. We want to use the same item
Yeah.
that we.
No, you'd want to use their item ID, which is on their box. So what did you call it? A stemless something or?
Yep. Stemless. Just call it stemless. That's good.
I don't know. It's a 3-ounce stemless or something. And we could make, put it in glass. We don't have any of that stuff. You can store pictures in here too. All right,
Okay.
so save. So now we have, in Susquehanna, we have a 3-ounce stemless. So in inventory, if we come back, now we have a 3-ounce stemless here. And say we want to receive
56,000 pieces. That's usually what we receive it.
all right, so we just received stock. We pick their 3-ounce stemless, and we say we want 56,000 pieces.
Yep. And
Now,
then,
by default, we've got them in the dock location, but we can make more like A1, A2, A3, A4. I don't know. Receive from
Yeah.
A Dewey Pile.
okay.
You spell pile with a Y, I think, right? I don't know. PO
Each of
number. Yeah, you've got lot numbers you can put in here too. There's actually a whole bunch of different fields you can get. So we click Save, and you can print receiving labels. If you wanted to put your own label on the box. Okay.
Or the boxes have a barcode on it. Can we use that barcode?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So
Uh,
now if we go
because
back to the item master list, why don't we have 56,000 in stock? Units 58. Item ID 144. This is fucked up.
But we would take the 56 divided by 12, if there's 12 to a case, and we'd say how many cases we have in stock, right? Not how many pieces, because each case has a barcode on it.
Yeah.
4,000.
Yeah, we can do the case stuff too. I don't know what I did wrong here. Hold on.
So that's the change it, but that's I have 2 customers, and they have a handful of items that we want to receive in, put in inventory, and then whenever we take a case off the floor, we use our scanner and scan it out of inventory, correct?
Yep. Or you can do it manually, but yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, that should be the easy part. That's what this is meant to do, right?
Yeah, it's all here. Yeah, this is the easy part, right?
Right. So that'll be great. That'll be easy.
Except I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. I'm going to have to see, this should show now 112,000 of them. And I don't know, as soon as I hang up with you, I'm going to go back to Zach and say what's going on here. Okay. All right, guys, so you've got me, before I forget my Excel spreadsheets, let me go back and make notes on what we need to do. I don't think it's, again, I think we're just, if Gary can live with these lines, we can do the summary for you.
Yeah.
I don't think we're too far off. So we decided we're going to keep those 318, 319 in the 300 series.
Yeah.
The setup stuff we're going to keep in the 300 column.
Yep.
So you want us? We should, when we're outputting it, we should output different columns for the 300 series, the 200 series, and the 100 series. Or do you want them all in one column? See how there's a 100 here? Do you want them in different columns or the same column?
Those have to be in different columns, right, Gary? Yeah, we need 300s, 100s, and 200s all in different columns. And there will be 400s as well. The 400s are everything that has to do with T-shirt printing. So we want to separate the bottles from the T-shirts. They're very different operations.
Yeah, right. Okay. Okay, I got it. Let me, you know, all right, let me make a couple of notes here. I got to get you the barcode.
Yeah, the barcode
report for production and efficiency.
And then we also want to be able to, to beta test this, we can enter the work orders, but we also want to be able to get that right from our QuickBooks. So
the feed from QuickBooks. Feed from QuickBooks for work orders. Barcode report for production and efficiency codes, and also employee badges.
And we want to embed in the employee badge their employee status.
Okay. Yeah, right. Full-time nights, full-time days, part-time, temp. Okay. I think we already have that. We just have to use that field in the employee record.
Work order hold only one item. Then we can embed the item number in the work order number. That's what we should have done. That I have to run by Karen and Mandy and see what that means for them. Now we're going to have multiple work orders for one job, one order. So I got to make sure that makes sense with them. And if not, then we just have to manually put in the item number. That's all, right? Right, Ben?
So you're thinking about embedding the product number into the work order number?
Yeah. So the pro would be, then we don't have to put in an item number, but the con would be we can only have one product number, one product item per work order.
Yeah, unless you did like a dash or something like that. I don't know if I'm such a fan of building intelligence. Sometimes it's good. I mean, you could put, work order 15-002-501-12FG. Just kind of make it. What's the worst case for how many you'd have, do you think?
Probably worst case might be 5 or 6 different products on a work order. Average, probably at least 70 to 80% of the jobs are 1 to 2 items per order.
Right.
We don't have to do that. We'll just put in the item number for now, the item code.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I got it. I think I have it. So let me document this and get it back out to everybody.
Okay.
So
thanks so much for all this you're taking with us here.
I think it's going to be pretty cool when it's going, and hopefully,
hopefully we're getting all for customers that.
Try to make some entries, and get us some feedback on how you think it goes.
All right. And
You know,
we're
don't
also,
spend hours on it, but spend 20 minutes. You know, try to make a few entries.
Okay. Gary's gonna send you right away our updated code list also that has all the
Okay. Okay.
added codes.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks again. We will go ahead and try to start tracking some information here. See what we can do.
Yeah. How good's your Wi-Fi? Is it generally pretty good?
Well, it was always good, but I just had my computer techs come in here last week, and they gave us a new wireless router. Everyone's
Excellent point.
complaining signal keeps dropping. So I asked him, I said, make sure it's the same router that we have. And he said it was, but everyone's signal keeps dropping. So I have to have them take a look at this.
Yeah. Unless we wire everything, we want to make sure that stays online. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but you know, after we can always do another.
Yeah, that's a small problem.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks,
All right,
Gary.
thanks a lot. Bye.
See you, Jason.
Bye.
Bye.